This evening we're reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and page 966. It's the chapter, The Master's Love for His Devotees. Surendra came in and took a seat. The devotees offered garlands of flowers to the Master every evening. Sri Ramakrishna put these garlands around his neck. Surendra sat quietly in the room. He was in a very happy mood and gave him 2 garlands. Surendra saluted the Master and put them around his neck. And looked at Ramakrishna. Surendra saluted the Master again and stood up. He was about to leave. He asked Bhavanath to hang the straw screens over the windows. Then he looked at the ruler. Hirananda came in with 2 of his friends. He was a native of Sindh, about 2,200 miles from Calcutta. After finishing his college education in Kolkata in 1883, he had returned to Sindh and taken charge of editing 2 papers, the Sindh Times and the Sindh Sudar. While studying in Kolkata, he had visited Keshab Chandra Sen and had come to know him intimately. He had met Sri Ramakrishna at the Kali Temple at Dakshineshwar and had spent an occasional night with the Master. Hearing Sri Ramakrishna's illness, he now came to Kolkata from Sindh to see him. The Master himself had been very eager to see Hirananda. Sri Ramakrishna pointed to Hirananda and said to him by sign, "A very fine boy. Do you know him?" M. "Yes, sir." Master to Hirananda and M. "Please talk a little. I want to hear you both." When he remained silent, Sri Ramakrishna asked him, "Is Narendra here? Call him." Narendra entered the room and sat near the Master. Master to Narendra and Hirananda, "I want to hear you 2 talk." Hirananda was silent a few moments, and then with great hesitation began the conversation. Hirananda to Narendra, "Why does the devotee of God suffer?" His words were sweet as nectar. Everyone in the room could feel that his heart was filled with love. Narendra, "The plan of the universe is devilish. I could have created a better world." Hirananda, "Can one feel happiness without misery?" Narendra, "I am not making a plan for a universe, but simply giving my opinion of the present plan. But all of these problems are solved if we have faith only in one thing, and that is pantheism. All doubts disappear if you believe. All doubts disappear if you believe that everything is God. God alone is responsible for all that happens." Hirananda, "Very easy to say that." Narendra sang Shankara's 6 stanzas on nirvana. Om, I am neither mind, intelligence, ego, nor chitta, neither ears nor tongue nor the senses of smell and sight, nor am I ether, earth, fire, water, or air. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. I am neither the prana nor the 5 vital breaths, neither the 7 elements of the body nor its 5 sheaths, nor hands, nor feet, nor tongue, but nor the organs of sex and voiding. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Neither loathing nor liking have I, neither greed nor delusion, nor ego or pride, neither dharma nor moksha, neither desire or mind nor object of its desiring. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Neither nor wrongdoing am I, neither pleasure, pain, nor the mantra, the sacred place, the Vedas, the sacrifice, neither the act of eating, the eater, nor the food. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Death or fear I have none, nor any distinction of caste. Neither father nor mother, nor even a birth have I. neither friend nor comrade, neither disciple nor guru. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. I have no form or fancy, the all-pervading am I. Everywhere I exist, yet I am beyond the senses. Neither salvation am I, nor anything that may be known. I am pure knowledge and bliss. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. Hirananda, good. Sri Ramakrishna to Hirananda by a sign, give him an answer. Hirananda, it is all the same whether you look at a room from a corner or look at it from the middle. It is the same God consciousness that one feels. O God, I am thy servant, or I am he. One may enter a room by several doors. All sat in silence. Please sing some more. Hirananda said to Narendra, please sing some more. Narendra sang the 5 stanzas of Passcode. It's the loincloth worn by sannyasins. Roaming ever in the grove of Vedanta, ever pleased with his beggar's morsel, ever walking with heart free from sorrow, blessed indeed is the wearer of the loincloth. Sitting at the foot of a tree for shelter, using the palms of his hands for eating, wrapped in a garment, fine and ugly, blessed indeed is the wearer of the loincloth. Satisfied fully by the bliss within, curbing wholly the cravings of his senses, contemplating day and night, the absolute Brahman, blessed indeed is the wearer of the loincloth. As Ramakrishna heard the line, contemplating day and night, the absolute Brahman, he said in a very low voice, ah. And then, by a sign, he said to the devotees, this is the characteristic of the yogi. Narendra finished the hymn. Witnessing the changes of mind and body, not but the self within him beholding, thinking not of outer or inner or of middle, blessed indeed is the wearer of the loincloth. Chanting Brahman, the word of redemption, meditating only on I am Brahman, living on alms and wandering freely, blessed indeed is the wearer of the loincloth. Again Narendra sang, meditate on him the perfect, the embodiment of bliss, meditate on him the formless, the root of the universe, the hearer behind the ear, the thinker behind the mind, the speaker behind the tongue, himself beyond all words. He is the life of life, the ultimate, the adorable. Narendra, in that one, all the art thou. Narendra sang, I have joined my heart to thee, all that exists art thou. Thee only have I found, for thou art all that exists. O Lord, beloved of my heart, thou art home of all. Where indeed is the heart in which thou dost not dwell? Thou hast entered every heart, all that exists art thou. Whether sage or fool, whether Hindu or Muslim, thou makest them as thou wilt. All that exists art thou. Thy presence is everywhere, whether in heaven or in Kaaba. Before thee almost thou, for thou art all that exists. From earth below to the highest heaven, from heaven to the deepest earth, I see wherever I look. All that exists art thou. Pondering I have understood, I have seen it beyond a doubt. I find not a single thing that may be compared to thee. In Jafar it has been revealed, to Jafar it has been revealed, thou art all that exists. As the Master listened to the line, thou hast entered every heart, he said by a sign, God is everybody's heart, he is the inner guide. As Narendra sang the line, I see thee wherever I look, all that exists art thou. Hirananda said to him, yes, all that exists art thou. Now you say thou, thou, not I, but thou. Narendra, give me a 1 and I'll give you 1,000,000. thou art I. Nothing exists but I. Narendra was from the Ashtavakra Samhita. The room became silent again. Master pointing to Narendra. He seems to be with an unsheathed sword in his hand. To M, pointing to Nanda, how quiet, quiet with its hood spread. Ramakrishna fell into an Hirananda and M were seated near him. There was complete silence in the room. The master's was being wrapped with indescribable pain. The devotees could sight of his, but somehow the man made his suffering. He sat there, his face beaming, if there were no trace of him. The devotees placed flowers for him as their loving offerings. He picked up a flower and touched with it first his head, heart, and navel. To the devotees, he seemed to be a child playing flowers. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell the devotees that his divine visions and moods were accompanied by the rising of a spiritual current inside his body. Now he talked to him. Master, I don't remember when the current went up. Now I am in the mood of a child. That is why I'm playing with the flowers this way. Do you know what I see now? I see my body as a frame of bamboo strips and covered with a cloth. The frame moves, and it moves because someone dwells inside it. Again, I see the body to be like a pumpkin with seeds scooped out. Inside this body there is no trace of passion or worldly attachment. It is all very clean inside, and it became very painful for Sri Ramakrishna to talk further. He felt very weak. M quickly guessed that what the master wanted to tell the devotees, and said, and you are seeing God inside yourself, Master, both inside and outside. The indivisible Satchidananda, I see it both inside and outside. It has merely assumed this sheath, meaning his body, for a support, and exists both inside and outside. I clearly perceive this. M and Hirananda listened intently to these words about the exalted state of God consciousness. A few moments later, Sri Ramakrishna looked at them and resumed the conversation. Master, you all seem to me to be my kinsmen. I do not look on any of you as a stranger. I see you all as so many sheaths, and the heads are moving. I notice that when my mind is united with God, the suffering of the body is left aside. Now I perceive only this. The indivisible Satchidananda is covered with skin, and this sore in the throat is on one side of it. The master again fell silent. A few minutes later, he said, the attributes of matter are superimposed on spirit, and the attributes of spirit are superimposed on matter. Therefore, when the body is ill, man says, I am ill. Hirananda wanted to understand what the master had just said, so M told him, when hot water scalds the hand, people say that the water scalds. But the truth is, it is the heat that scalds. Hirananda to the master, please tell us why a devotee of God suffers. Master, it is the body that suffers. Sri Ramakrishna seemed about to say something more. Hirananda and M eagerly awaited his words. Sri Ramakrishna said, do you understand? M said to Hirananda in a whisper, The body suffers for the purpose of teaching men. His life is like a book of reference. In spite of so much physical suffering, his mind is 100% united with God. Hirananda, yes, it is like Christ's crucifixion, but still the mystery remains. Why should he, of all people, suffer like this? M. The Master said it is the will of the Divine Mother. This is how she is sporting through his body. The two devotees were talking in whispers. Sri Ramakrishna asked Hirananda by a sign what M was talking about. Since Hirananda could not understand the sign, Sri Ramakrishna repeated it. Hirananda, he says that your illness is for the teaching of men, Master, but that's only his guess. To M and Hirananda, my mood is changing. I think that I should not say to everyone, may your spiritual consciousness be awakened. People are so sinful in the Kali Yuga. If I awaken their spiritual consciousness, I shall have to accept the burden of their sins. M to Hirananda, he will not awaken people's spiritual consciousness except at the right time. When a person is ready, he will awaken his spiritual consciousness. Friday, April 23rd, 1886. It was Good Friday. Hirananda had taken his midday meal at the Kasipur garden house. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he was stroking Sri Ramakrishna's feet. M sat near. Latu and 1 or 2 other devotees were going in and out of the room. It was the Master's earnest desire that Hirananda should stay for some time at the Kasipur garden house. While massaging the Master's feet, Hirananda conversed with him. He spoke in a very sweet voice, as if trying to console a child. Hirananda, why should you worry so much? You can enjoy peace of mind. If you have faith in the physician, you're a child. Master to M. How can I have faith in the doctor? Dr. Sakar said I would not recover. Hirananda, but why should you worry so much about that? What is to happen must happen. Excuse me. M to Hirananda aside. He's not worrying about himself. The preservation of his body is for the welfare of the devotees. It was a sultry day, and the room was very hot at noontime. The straw screens had been hung over the windows. Hirananda adjusted them. The Master looked at him. Master to Hirananda, please don't forget to send the pajamas. Hirananda had told Sri Ramakrishna that he would feel more comfortable if he wore the pajamas used in Sindh. Sri Ramakrishna was reminding him. Hirananda had not eaten well. The rice had not been well cooked. The Master felt very sorry about it and asked him again and again whether he would have some refreshments. On account of his illness, he could hardly talk, but still he repeated the question. He said to Latu, did you too eat that rice? Sri Ramakrishna could hardly keep the cloth on his body. He was almost always naked like a child. Hirananda had brought with him 1 or 2 of his Brahmo friends. Therefore, every now and then when the Master pulled the cloth to his waist, Master to Hirananda, will you take me for an uncivilized person if I don't cover my body with my cloth? Hirananda, what difference does that make with you? You are but a child. Master pointing to a Brahmo devotee, but he feels that way. Hirananda was about to take his leave. In a very few days he was going to start for Sindh. Master to Hirananda, suppose you don't go to Sindh. Hirananda smiling, but there is nobody there to do my work. I have my duties. Master, how much do you earn? Hirananda smiling, my work doesn't bring me a large salary. Master, still, how much? Hirananda laughed. Master, why don't you live here? Hirananda did not reply. Master, suppose you give up your dog. Hirananda said nothing. He was ready to take his leave. Master, when will you see me again? Hirananda, I shall leave for Sind on Monday, the day after tomorrow. I shall see you that morning. Hirananda left. M was seated by the master's side. Master, to M, he's a very fine young man, isn't he? M, yes, sir, he has a very sweet nature. Master, he said that Sind is 2,200 miles from Kolkata, and he is all that way to see me. M, true, sir. That would be impossible without real love. Master, he wants very much to take me to Sind. M, the journey is very painful. It takes 4 or 5 days by train. Master, he has 3 university degrees. M, yes, sir. Sri Ramakrishna was tired. He wanted to take a little rest. He asked him to open the shutters of the room and spread the straw mat over his bed. M was fanning him. The master became drowsy. After a short nap, Sri Ramakrishna said to M, did I sleep? M, a little. Narendra, Sarat, and M were talking downstairs. Narendra, how amazing it is. One learns hardly anything through one, though one reads books for many years. How can a man realize God by practicing sadhana for 2 or 3 days? Is it so easy to realize God? To Sarat, you have obtained peace, and who has obtained it, but I have no peace. It was afternoon. Many devotees were sitting in the master's room. Narendra, Sarat, Shashi, Latu, Nitya, Girish, Ram, and Suresh were present. Kedar came in. It was his first visit to the master for some time. While staying in Dhaka, in connection with his official duties, he had heard of Sri Ramakrishna's illness. On entering Sri Ramakrishna's door, he took the dust of the master's on his head and nicely gave it to the others. The devotees accepted it with bowed heads. As he offered it to Sharat, the latter himself took the dust of Sri Ramakrishna's feet. M smiled. The master also smiled at him. The devotees sat without uttering a word. Sri Ramakrishna seemed about to go into an ecstatic mood. Now and then he breathed heavily, as if trying to suppress his emotion. He said to Kedar by sign, argue with Girish. Girish said to Kedar, I beg your pardon. At first I did not know who you were. That is why I argued with you. But now it is quite different. Sri Ramakrishna smiled. The master drew Kedar's attention to the and said, he has renounced everything. To the devotees, Kedar once said to Narendra, you may reason and argue now, but in the end you will roll on the ground chanting Hari's name. To Narendra, take the dust of Kedar's feet. Kedar to Narendra, take the dust of his feet, meaning Sri Ramakrishna. That will do. Surrender stood behind the other devotees. The master looked at him with a smile and said to Kedar, see how sweet his nature is? Kedar understood the master's hint and went towards Surendra. Surendra was very sensitive. Some of the devotees had been collecting funds from householder devotees of the Kasipur garden house. So Surendra felt piqued at this. He was bearing most of the expenses himself. How can I spare all people? A few days ago, some of them, referring to Narendra, robe of the sannyasi and Bodh Gaya. They wanted to see bigger sadhus there. Krishna was trying to console her. He said, "You were right. He does not." Wait, no, you were right. They are mere children. They don't know what is good. Surrender to Kedar. Gurudev, meaning Sri Ramakrishna, no inner feelings, he does not care for money. It is an attitude that pleases him. Sri Ramakrishna, with a nod of his head, approved Surendra's words. The devotees had brought various food offerings for the master and placed them in front of him. Sri Ramakrishna put a grain on his tongue and gave the plate to Surendra. He asked Surendra to distribute the prasad to the devotees. Surendra went downstairs with the offerings. Master to Kedar, you had better go downstairs and explain it all to Surendra. See that they don't get into any hot arguments. M was fanning Sri Ramakrishna. The master said to him, "Won't you eat anything?" He sent M downstairs. It was about dusk. Girish and M were strolling near the small reservoir in the garden. Girish, I understand that you were writing something about this. Is it true? I told you that. Girish, I've heard about it. Will you give it to me? No, I won't part with it unless I feel it is right to do so. I am writing for myself and for others. Girish, M, you may be when I die. M is the one who wrote this gospel. It was evening. A lamp was lighted in the master's room. Amrita Basu, Brahmo devotee, came in. Krishna had expressed his eagerness to see him, and a few devotees were there. A garland of jasmine lay in front of the master on a plantain leaf. There was perfect silence in the room. A great yogi seemed to be silently communing with God. Every now and then, the master lifted the garland a little, if he wanted to put it around his neck. Amrita, put it around your neck. Krishna accepted the garland. He had a long conversation with Amrita. When the lad was about to take his leave, he said, "Come again." Amrita, yes, sir, I like courage, but I live at a great distance. Master, and take the carriage higher from here. The devotees were amazed at the master's tender love for Amrita. And I think we'll stop there because it's the next day. Anyone have any comments or questions? Okay. Then tomorrow the talk will be on thankfulness. And on Wednesday we'll have first at 5 o'clock. Saturday, after Thanksgiving, Swami Sarvadevananda will give his class on the at 4:30 here in the temple. And next week, the lecture on the 28th, the Vedas, perennial source of bliss. So I hope you can come either in person or via the internet. The chant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu.